Hi everyone and welcome to Yogalates. My name's Ellie and I'll be leading us through this 60-minute workout today. All you need is a mat, and if you don't have one, you can just grab a towel or a blanket, just something to add a little bit of cushion for your knees and your hands. So the majority of this workout, we're going to focus on Pilates, focusing on our core and our legs, and then we're going to finish with a nice stretch and some yoga to finish it off. So let's get started. So we're first going to start on all fours, go into a couple cat-cow positions. So inhaling, arching your back inward, looking up to the sky, and then exhaling, pulling those hips up, arching that back to the ceiling into cat. Inhaling to cow. Exhaling to cat. You're slowly starting to bring movement to your body. Do one more. Finishing off, coming back to a neutral spine, sending those hips backwards to our feet, coming into a child's pose position. Just stretching those arms out as far as you can, reaching the top of the mat, letting the body sink, the chest sink to the mat. And then taking both hands to the left side of the mat, getting a nice stretch in the right side of the body. Then coming to center, and then to the right side. Then center. Then coming up back into the tabletop position, we're going to tuck our toes and push those hips up back into downward facing dog. You can walk it out, give those backs of your legs a nice stretch. And then just let them rest. Taking a few breaths here. And we're going to slowly walk those toes to the front of the mat. Just have a nice forward fold. Letting your head and arms dangle. And then on our inhale, we're going to raise up. Inhaling, raise up. You can come up with a little bit of a back bend. And exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, coming up. Maybe do a bend to the side. And folding it forward. Now stepping just your right leg back, coming in to a lunge position with that left leg, planting that right arm on the ground and shining that left arm up to the sky. Getting a nice stretch through our body, getting nice and warm. Here for a few more breaths. Then planting that left arm down, stepping that left foot back into plank position, slowly lowering to the ground through chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Putting it here. And walking those feet to meet your hands to that forward fold position. Inhaling, coming up. Exhale, folding it forward. Do that one more time. Folding it forward. Stepping that left leg back now, coming into a right-legged lunge. Putting your left hand down on the mat and reaching that right arm to the ceiling, opening up your chest. Taking a few breaths here. Putting that back down, stepping your right leg back, and once again, coming down, slowly lowering yourself, inhaling upward facing dog, exhaling downward facing dog. Really pushing through those hips, trying to drive them up. And then slowly lowering those knees down into a tabletop position. We're going to do a few bird dogs. So extending that right leg back, your left arm forward. Bring them both up, and then bring that elbow to meet your knee and extending. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, lowering those down and extending that left leg and right arm and bringing them to meet. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, putting it down and just coming back into child's pose one last time. Just letting your body sink down. Hopefully it's nice and warm. And then coming up on putting your feet in front of you. We're going to do a few roll downs and getting used to working in our C-shaped spine and keeping our core engaged. So you're just going to put your hands behind your knees, and we're going to just slowly roll it back, maintaining a nice curve through that spine and coming down, and then slowly pulling ourselves back up to a straight back. You can also just have your hands by your side as you roll down and then roll up, trying to pull that navel into your spine. Slowly warming up that core. And on this last one, we're just gonna stay down on the mat and we're gonna get ready to go into our core exercises. So we're gonna put our hands by our side. The closer they are to you, the harder it'll be. The more spread out, the easier. We're gonna raise our knees to tabletop position, and we're just gonna start by dropping one leg at a time. So we're dropping our right leg, bringing it up, and then our left leg, bringing it up. Focusing on pressing that lower back into the ground. Only drop your legs as low as you can without that lower back raising. Really focusing on using our core to lift, lower, and raise your legs. You have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drawing those legs in, give yourself a quick squeeze and right back out into that tabletop position. We're going into bicycle legs, so you can just extend, just switching here. Not lifting that upper body yet. Just getting used to moving your legs and pulling them in using your core. Then we're gonna lift up our shoulders and just hold it here. for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're gonna bring the opposite elbow to opposite knee. Really trying to keep those shoulder blades lifted and as high off the mat as you can. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug it in. Putting our left leg down and out. We're going into our double bent knee stretch. So we're holding that right leg in, raising the shoulder blades off the ground, hovering the left leg, pulsing in for 2, and extending for 2. Giving 2 little squeezes and extending. Keeping your shoulder blades off the ground as high as you can. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming down. This time, bring that right leg in, your left leg in and up, stretching it out a little bit and extending that right leg. We're going into our straight leg stretch, so bringing it in for 2 and switching. Remembering to breathe through it. You have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just hold this leg here. Get a nice little stretch like we did on the left leg. Then bringing it down. We're gonna come back. We're gonna keep them both down, extending that right leg. We're gonna crunch up and raise it and lower both down. So crunching up as you inhale and exhaling, lowering it down. And up and down. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just coming down and switching legs, extending that left leg, raising it and crunching up and lowering. You have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering both your legs, your feet down. We're raising them into a tabletop, extending both arms to the side. We're going into our windshield wipers. So you can do this bent knee or straight. We're gonna drop them to the right. Option to straighten your legs, bend them, coming to center, and going to the other side. Straightening them at the farthest point, and then bringing them back to center. You have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming to center, Drawing both those knees in, giving yourself a nice little squeeze here. Putting those feet down. And we're gonna get ready to go into our glute bridges. So bring those heels to touch your fingertips, tucking your pelvic, your hips under. We're gonna slowly lift those hips off the ground, one vertebrae at a time, and then slowly lowering it. Trying to keep the tension in your glutes the whole way. Never unloading that tension. And really squeezing at the top. Also making sure your core is engaged. We have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and on this last one, we're just gonna hold it at the top, and we're just gonna raise our heels up and lower them, getting a bit of calf work in. Nice and slow and controlled, using that core to help you maintain your balance. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lowering all the way back down to the mat. We're going to keep our right leg bent. We're going to extend that left leg to the ceiling, flexing it down, and we're just going to bend it down and back in, and then come to a glute bridge and lower. So we have it down, coming back in and up. Pushing through that right heel. We have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now keeping that leg straight, we're just gonna bend it down and up. You can raise your shoulders if you like. And we have 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're gonna lower and raise into a glute bridge. So lowering your left leg and raising. We have 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, you're gonna extend that left leg, bring your right leg in, give it a bit of a hug, pull those shoulders off the floor, and we're gonna go into our double bent knee stretch. So bringing it in for 2 and extending for 2. 3, 2, and 1. Lowering both legs down, this time straightening your right leg. We're lowering it, bringing it in, coming to the glute bridge and extending. Focusing that weight on the heel of our left foot. And we have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we're just raising and lowering that leg. You can come up, raising your shoulders. You're just pointing up and flexing down. Then lowering your shoulders. We're just gonna do the same thing, but add that glute bridge. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering it all the way down. Grabbing that left knee, hugging it in, raising your shoulders off, and going into our switches. From 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering those both down. Just taking deep breath, bringing those hands over your head, shaking out those knees a little bit. And we're gonna come around onto all fours. And we're gonna go into a few bird dog positions. So we're gonna start with our right leg back, extending that left arm. And we're just raising and lowering them. Squeezing the glutes at the top. Nice and slow. You have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keeping it up, and we're just bringing them out and in. So out to the corners of the mat and into the center. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. Putting your hand down and just doing tiny pulses at the top, flexing that foot for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lowering it down and extending it back. We're going into rainbows, so kicking it up and over. Trying to get as high as you can. You have 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping it out, we're coming down onto our elbows, and we're just doing tiny pulses here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming down, pushing back into child's pose. Give yourself a nice little stretch, a nice little breather. before we go into the opposite leg. So pushing back up, extending your left leg out now, and that right arm. We're coming up and just raising and lowering. Squeezing the glute at the top, making sure our foot is nice and flexed. You have 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it here and bringing them to the corners and center. You have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Putting that right arm down, keeping their left leg raised, and just doing tiny pulses for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering that down, we're gonna go into our rainbows. So bringing it up and over. Trying to kick up as high as you can. We have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going down onto our elbows, going into our tiny pulses one last time for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering it down, coming back into that child's pose. Just stretching it out here. Coming back up, we are going to go in to just some crunches. So we're gonna bend your left elbow, extending that right knee, and we're just crunching over. You have 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're gonna keep that right leg extended, and we're just gonna go into tricep push-ups on that left leg. For 2, 3, 4, and 5. And up, switching sides, extending that left leg, bending that right arm, and crunching it in and extending. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Putting that down, keeping your left leg extended. Going into our tricep push-ups with that leg extended. We have one more. Putting it down, just going into regular push-ups. You can go on your knees and just coming down and up. Coming forward, we're going in to some Flappy Birds exercises now. So we're gonna extend our arms out to the side. We're just gonna lower them and then straighten them up, lower to the side. Really thinking about squeezing those shoulders muscles as you raise and lower them, keeping it nice and controlled and in line. And we have 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to keep them here. We're going to slightly bend those elbows, pull them back, and then push them forward. So just getting a nice squeeze, trying to get those shoulder blades to touch, and then extending. We have 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're going to put them in a field post position, and we're just going to bring them down and up. Squeezing them at the top. We have 4, 3, 2, 1, holding them at the field pose and doing tiny pulses. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold them out straight, and we're doing tiny circles forward. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then tiny circles reverse. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold them out here for 30 seconds. Hopefully your arms are burning by now. Just a few more seconds here. We have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower them, shake it out a little bit. Coming around into a plank position, working those arms some more. We're gonna start by extending that left leg back. We're just gonna bring your right knee in to your right elbow, your left, and then back. Right, left, and back. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. Switching sides. Bring your left leg to each elbow, then back. You have 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower your legs, coming in to that child's pose, letting those shoulders relax a little bit. Just taking a few breaths here. Then pushing onto our elbows to our plank position. We're just gonna hold a plank here for 30 seconds. Engaging our core, our legs, making sure our body's nice and tight. You have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower down, coming up onto our glutes, extending your knees in front of you. We're going to go into a quick core crunch circuit. So extending both arms, lowering back as low as you can go, and just doing tiny pulses here. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Placing that left hand down, going to over your left side. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swapping arms, going to the right. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming up and onto our stomachs. We're going to go into a Superman little series. So coming down onto that stomach, extending those arms forward. We're just going to start by lifting our arms. So we're just going to lift them up and back down. Using those shoulder blades to help lift you up. Trying to get as high off the mat as you can. You have 4, 3, 2, 1. Placing those hands underneath your head. We're just going to lift our legs now. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're going to do both, lifting both your arms and your legs. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lowering those arms down, we're just going to do a couple of things with our legs. So we're going to lift them up and just do little flutter kicks. Trying to get them through your glutes more than your lower back. You have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping them raised, we're just going to bring our toes to meet and out. Bring them in and out. You have 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower them down, shake those legs out a little bit. And we're gonna come up into a seated position. We're gonna start by bending that right knee, taking that left leg, bending it over your right leg, taking your left arm behind your back, straightening it. As you inhale, raising your right arm up, exhaling, putting it behind that left knee and twisting. So inhaling as you raise your straighten and twisting as you exhale. coming to center. Taking your legs, shaking it out a little bit. Now bending that left knee under, the right knee over. Placing your right arm straight in behind your back. Inhaling, raising that left arm. Exhaling, placing it behind that leg and twisting. Getting a nice stretch through that spine. And coming to center. Shaking it out, putting your feet together, letting your hips fall open. You can use your elbows to get them even farther. Just kind of folding over your legs. Coming up from here, keeping that right leg in front of you, bending that left leg behind you, grabbing your ankle, and just bending over that left side. Getting a nice stretch through the right side of our bodies. Then putting that right elbow down and bending over the right side. Coming to center, moving over the left side. And the right side. Center, switching legs, placing your right arm on that right ankle and bending over. On one side you may have an easier time, you may get farther down. Then placing that left elbow down, bending the right arm over. Center, bring that left arm over. Putting it down, bring that right arm over. Coming up, just coming into comfortable seated position. Rolling those shoulders out a little bit. Taking that right arm across your body, stretching it out. And switching sides, taking that left arm across. Taking that right arm over your head, stretching out our tricep. And switching sides. And bring them down, rolling those shoulders out. We're going to stretch out our neck a little bit. So just taking that right ear to that right shoulder. You can gently pull in that head if you'd like. Whatever feels good for you. And bring to center and bring that left ear to left shoulder. Bring to center, do a few neck circles, so slowly starting to the right side, going around, paying attention to any place that seems a little bit extra tight and maybe holding it for a few more seconds. Just allowing your shoulders and neck to relax. Coming to center, going to the left side now. Coming to center, coming back onto all fours, do a few cat-cows, inhaling as you arch your back inward, and exhaling, pushing your spine to the ceiling. Picking up the pace of your breath. Coming into center, pushing back into child's pose. Allowing those hips to sink, your arms to stretch forward. Just relax into your mat and your body. And leaving your right arm on the mat, taking your left arm underneath that right arm for a nice side stretch. And bring it to center and take that right arm underneath. Coming to center, coming through tabletop, pushing into downward facing dog, walking it out. And then taking that left leg up in between your toes, your hands, and just letting those hips sink. You can walk it to the edge of your mat, opening up that hip a little bit more. And bringing to center, lowering that right leg and just pushing forward even more into those hips. If you want, taking that left arm, grabbing your right ankle. Feel a nice stretch in the front of your right leg. Carefully lowering that to the ground. Then pushing back, extending that left leg and letting your body fall over it, getting a nice stretch through the back of it. And kind of flex and point your foot if you'd like. And then coming in to half pigeon. Taking a few breaths here. Coming onto your elbows if you like. Getting a deeper stretch. With each breath, just releasing that tension that you may have built up throughout the day. Just imagining your breath going to all those parts of your body that may be a little bit extra tight, and just allowing them to release. Coming up, tucking your right toes, pushing back into downward facing dog. Pedaling it out a little bit, and then taking that right foot in front, coming into that lunge, and walk it to that corner of your mat and opening up that toe. In between, and lower that left leg if you'd like. Just really push even deeper into those hips, allowing them to sink to the mat. And like taking that right arm, grabbing that left ankle. And slowly lowering it. Pushing back that right hip, extending your right leg. Again, you can point and flex that toe, your foot if that feels good. Pushing forward into half pigeon, letting those hips sink. A nice stretch. Coming down onto your elbows if you'd like. Coming up, tucking those toes and pushing back into downward facing dog for one last time. Slowly dropping your knees and going into child's pose. Taking a few breaths here. coming up onto our backs, hugging both knees in, maybe rolling side to side a little bit, massaging that back, and then extending that left leg, keeping your right leg hugged in. And we're just going to hold it here for a few seconds. And taking it just in your right arm and letting it fall open. Bringing it to center, taking it in your left arm and going into a nice spinal twist. Extending that right arm to the side. Coming to center, grabbing your heel in your left arm, putting it in your left hip, letting that knee fall open. And slowly letting go, letting it slowly travel down that left leg, shaking it out, now grabbing that left leg into your chest, giving it a nice hug. Taking in your left arm, letting it fall to that left side. Coming to center, taking in the right arm, bring it over the right side of your body. Bring it to center. Taking it in your right arm, your right hand, letting that knee fall open. Slowly releasing it. Taking your arms over your head, just taking a big stretch, stretching your toes and hands to the edges of each room. And then slowly coming up into a comfortable position. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you had a good workout, and I hope to see you next week. Thank you.